Welcome to Showing Up Anyway, the podcast for people who are not perfect. On this show, we talk about intuitive eating, fitness without obsession, and healing your relationship with food and your body. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Showing Up Anyway. I have a special guest today. I have brought on one of my fantastic coaches, Emilee Bogdan. She is a NASM certified personal trainer, a level 1 precision nutrition certified nutrition coach. And we've been working together for like 3 years, haven't we, Emilee?
Yeah, I think so.
Time
flies.
See, that's how close we are. We got the same brain cell.
We're in sync. We share the one brain cell.
And Emilee, I wanted to bring Emilee on because, well, one, she's just a fantastic coach. She's gone through a weight loss journey herself, I think losing well over 100 pounds, correct?
150. Yep.
Jesus, that is well over 100. 150
well
pounds.
Over.
And then, and today's topic, we're going to be talking about ADHD, which Emilee has. And so I figured, let's bring on, an expert. I know what I know, but I've never actually dealt with it. And so I thought she would be a great person to talk about this. So we're going to talk about executive dysfunction. We're going to talk about meal overwhelm, the shame with not being able to do things as easily as neurotypical people, exercise blocks, and a lot of other stuff. Does that sound good to you, Emilee?
That sounds exciting. I think it's really important.
Awesome. Firstly, I don't even know if I've told you this. I one time thought that I had ADHD. I was convinced because I feel like I dealt with executive dysfunction. I had the hardest time like getting to the things on my to-do list. And I went into the doctor and I saw a psychiatrist or a psychologist. I can't remember. I saw multiple doctors and they definitively told me no. So I tried.
No, you're just
I tried
not
to be
doing your to-do list.
Yeah. So they're like, you're just lazy. So anyway, that's the extent of my personal experience. Why don't you talk about your personal experience with ADHD?
Yeah. So I didn't get diagnosed until I was just about to turn 30. I'm 31. So I'm a year into actually knowing how my brain works. And the only reason I got diagnosed is because I saw a new therapist. And about 20 minutes into our first session, she said, "Hey, have you ever been tested for ADHD?" So
which is very
that
obvious.
was telling. So we went down that route of getting tested. And I've spent the last year and a half or so learning how my brain interacts with everything and learning that there's not these things that I'm just really, really bad at. I'm just following a template that was set up by neurotypical people as a neurodivergent person.
Yeah. And I think that is probably one of the hardest things is that most of the advice that we hear in health spaces, online and social media is usually directed at neurotypical people, talking about habit building and things like that. And it wasn't often made with neurodivergent brains in mind. I get a lot of comments on my videos saying, well, this doesn't apply to me because I don't think that way.
My brain doesn't do this.
Work. Exactly. So it can be really frustrating, I'm sure. And especially if it goes undiagnosed, right? Which you spent so many years thinking, well, what the heck is wrong with me? Why can't I just do it?
Yes.
I think the reason that we're tackling this topic is because a lot of people have no idea what to do. Like, it's not that easy for them. So
yeah. And you spend years trying to mimic what you see in spaces, in online, with your friends, with your family, and you try to mimic those spaces, and those spaces weren't built for you. And so it feels like hitting your head against a wall because you failed yet again, which you didn't. You just were trying in a way that wasn't built for you.
So let's start with by talking about executive dysfunction. Do you want to explain what that is?
Many people experience it very differently. In terms of me and how I operate in my executive dysfunction, literally happened earlier today. I was going to go to the gym and then go get a pedicure with Coach Heather. That was my plan. I then couldn't get up off the couch to go to the gym before the pedicure. The pedicure had an appointment. The gym didn't. I sat there too long, couldn't get up, couldn't get moving, couldn't actually do the task because the weight, the heaviness of doing the task was too much. It ended up getting put off and I did my workout after, but it is sitting there on the couch, one half of your brain screaming at you to get up and the other half saying, that's too much. And just spinning your wheels, you're frustrated at yourself because it's frustrating.
Yeah, there's this gap between like, hey, I know I need to do this, but I just can't do it.
Mm-hmm. It's the momentum. Once you lose momentum, once you're seated, It takes an act of God to get up off that couch, to get moving, to go forward again.
So we made a video kind of together in the sense that I came to you and said, "Hey, I want to make a video about ADHD because I get asked about it all the time." And you gave me some really helpful tips. One of the things you said was to keep your shoes on, right? Explain what that means.
If you are neurodivergent out there and you are anything like me, shoes are feet prison. You don't want the shoes are uncomfortable. That's the first thing to come off when you get home. It's the shoes, then the bra. You're done. Feet prison. You got to take them off. If you leave them on, you're uncomfortable. You're not going to lounge on the couch. You're going to sit because you got your shoes on. You're not going to put your shoes on the couch. That's crazy. But you're just uncomfortable enough to motivate you to get back up again, because the discomfort of having feet prison on gets you up and moving. So you can do that for anything. Don't change your outfit into your comfy clothes if you haven't done anything that you need to do yet. Don't take your shoes off if you still need to do your workout because you just walked in the door. Don't make yourself comfortable, because the more barriers to getting up and getting moving, like changing your outfit, putting your shoes on, the more barriers that there are, the less likely you are to actually do the thing, because 5 barriers of, shoes, change your outfit, fill up your water, 3, that feels too heavy. It's so many steps, because it's not just putting your shoes on. It's, I need to get my socks, and I need to find that one pair of shoes, and I need to change my outfit. But what day is it? Is it squat day? Oh, I need to get shorts. That, like, there's so many thoughts happening at once. We freeze. We're stuck. If you stay dressed, if you leave your shoes on, the likelihood of you stopping decreases. That step, the 5 steps associated with putting your shoes on, has now decreased to 0. And there's so many less obstacles in your way.
So this is one of the things I talked about in the last episode, which is the idea of friction. And friction are those barriers that get in the way. And so keeping your shoes on, I mean, essentially, it's the idea of an object in motion stays in motion, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that is one less barrier, one less amount of friction that we encounter when we're about to accomplish something, or we're trying to accomplish something.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of leads to another thing, which is the idea of shame, right? Because let's say you want to get something done and it wasn't on the schedule, which is another tip that we're going to talk about. But
yes,
let's say you didn't make an appointment for yourself, and then you feel bad, right? Then this comes a shame. Damn, I had these things I was going to do today, and I didn't do one or all of them. How do you deal with that kind of shame?
there's a lot of misconceptions when it comes to ADHD, especially adults with ADHD, that just, you're a slacker, you're lazy, you can't do it. And all of those adjectives, they have really negative connotations associated with them. And while you're sitting there, while you're desperately wanting to get up and go do the thing, and you just simply can't, you're already beating yourself up. And so you are already falling short of the expectations that you wanted to have for yourself. And so we're putting shame on ourselves at baseline. And then the societal shame of, you're lazy, you just can't do it. You just need to get up and go. What do you mean you can't just get up and go? So it's kind of 2 sides of the same coin of, we're mad at ourselves, we're shaming ourselves, and society's shaming us. So in those moments, what I like to do, just as a person with ADHD, is I like to be like, okay, got it. I didn't do my workout. That has happened. That is already done. It is gone. I can't undo that. I don't want to turn me missing one workout into me missing the rest of the week, though, because that feels worse. So, okay, cool. Let me make a plan of when I'm going to get that workout in. If I need to adjust the expectations of myself this week, because you know what, I'm not going to get all my workouts in. I'm going to have to do 3 instead of 4. That's unfortunate, but I want to do the 3. I don't want to make missing the 1 mean I missed 4. So I take a moment, take a breath, be like, that's really frustrating that I couldn't get off the couch. I took my shoes off. I know better. Okay, that's in the past now. We need a plan for tomorrow. We need to make a plan, and we need to carry forward rather than dwelling. That helps break that cycle of shame, because you adopt more of a, hey, it is what it is. We already missed it. Being upset about it's not going to unmiss the workout. However, it could miss tomorrow's. So planning and being able to scoot forward is one of the best things that I actually started doing for myself in terms of consistency and just mental talk. We'll beat ourselves up more than anybody.
Yeah. Chronic dieters are great at that, at beating themselves up. I actually really liked the word that you used, scoot. You said you got to scoot forward. I really like the thought of just scooting forward rather than taking another step, because sometimes it feels like just a small inch you're moving forward.
I need to
and
slide it.
yeah, you're just sliding. You don't have to take a giant step forward. And sometimes just that little inch can start that momentum back up.
hmm
And this can apply to people who don't have ADHD as well. We are just so good at dwelling on the past.
Yes.
And we need to focus maybe on living in the present and then planning for the future. Okay, I can't go back and, well, I mean, you could make up the workout, but you can't go back and do it, right? So you can
I
make it
can't
up
do
in
it
the
this
future.
morning. I already missed it.
Yeah, this morning's past. We can do it this afternoon, or we can do it tomorrow morning.
hmm
And so learning how to put it behind you, move forward, is a vital, vital skill.
It
I
is.
think, for
It's
sure.
be frustrated. That's okay. But be frustrated and then scoot forward.
Yeah,
It's already happened. Done.
acknowledge it. You don't have to dismiss those feelings. I
Right.
shouldn't feel bad. No, it's okay. You can feel bad. Like it
You
kind of
can
sucks
be
knowing
annoyed
that
about
you,
it.
yeah,
It's a
like,
bummer.
dang, why did I do it? But recognize that it happened, acknowledge that it happened, understand why it happened, right? Okay, I didn't put this on my schedule.
I didn't
Carve out.
put my shoes on. I sat
Yep.
down.
Yep.
I planned poorly. I didn't eat breakfast on time.
And then making a plan going forward. That's huge.
Mhm.
So let's talk a little bit about food. This is a huge one. I hear all the time from clients, especially clients with ADHD. I'm sure you do too. I forgot to eat. Tell me why that happens.
What it typically is we'll get a hunger cue, but we'll be like, oh, cool. I need to eat soon. Not I need to eat now. I need to eat soon. Soon is too ambiguous. That means absolutely nothing to me. Soon could be tomorrow. For all I care, soon could be 12 hours later because I'm doing what I'm doing right now. So I'm not going to eat right now. I'll do it later. And so it's not even distraction, it's deprioritization. This isn't important right now. I need to do it soon though. And then we pass a point where the hunger cue of like our tummy's hungry, that's past. We're now grumpy. We're now nauseous. So now we can't eat. We're nauseous now because we didn't eat before. And so it's kind of kicked down the line as a less important, less prioritized task than whatever's at hand. Whatever's at hand, it's likely giving us some dopamine and we like the dopamine. So we're going to keep doing it. Well, the food really is, necessary for life and necessary for continuing to gain dopamine from the task at hand. If I get grumpy at the task at hand because I didn't eat, it's going to be unfortunate.
Yeah. And so what happens to everyone when they go a long period without eating is oftentimes they end up binging.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm actually curious, when you were at your heaviest weight, do you attribute some of that to your ADHD? Was there a lot of binging and restricting, even if it was like unintentional?
There was a lot of restricting and binging unintentionally. There was a lot of restriction, and then it wouldn't be, full. I didn't have binge eating disorder to where I would make myself ill, but it was a binge worthy meal. It was a very heavy meal that would then drag me down the rest of the day. I'd be tired. I'd be just draggy, no energy, no effort to put towards anything. And then I would be fixated on something else. So I'd deprioritize eating again, and I would just continue down that path. And so it would very much be consuming my entire day worth of food in a matter of, a couple of hours, 1 to 2 hours, and then removing myself from needing sustenance for the remainder of the day.
Which
and
kind of
continuing
just led
down
to it,
that.
probably led to restricting and then binging the next day.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of, it's a cycle. It's a cycle that's really hard to break.
A vicious cycle.
Especially when you forget about it. You forget, hey, oh, that was the issue. I forgot that I was supposed to eat so it doesn't happen again.
Right. I pushed it down on the priority list. It should be number 1. It's number 15. I pushed it down.
I hear from a lot of autistic ADHD people. It's the idea of lacking the feeling of interoception, not really being able to feel your hunger and your fullness cues. Do you struggle with that, or is that just an autistic person with ADHD thing?
Absolutely struggle with that. It took me, and it depends on what I'm doing. If I'm really focused on what I'm doing, I don't feel them. I don't recognize the hunger. Any of the cues, list them. I don't feel them. I don't see them. I don't notice them. And it took me a really long time of getting my brain used to the concept of, no, we need sustenance to be able to actually consistently consume food. And now I'll feel hungry. I'll notice that I'm getting really grumpy, but it still comes and goes. So I experience that. I don't know the crossover there. I don't know if it's an ADHD thing, but is more noticed with ADHD folks, or if it's kind of it lives in both camps.
That's kind of what I'd figured.
Yeah.
This thing is not universal. The experience of everybody is significantly different. One of the things that is also really a challenge for people is sensory issues, right? Textures,
Mhm.
chewing fatigue, just the idea that nothing sounds good. Why don't we talk a little bit about that? Tell me maybe about your experience, if you experience that, and then what advice you might give a client.
Yeah, so I've definitely experienced that where just chicken is too chickeny all of a sudden. Eggs are too eggy. Just I've been eating eggs for a month. Today, too eggy. Can't eat them. Don't like them. So I've definitely gone through that and experienced that. And it's unfortunate because you're sitting there in front of the meal that you had yesterday morning and you can't eat it anymore. When I've experienced that, there's a few different things that like I have done to come out of it. I've listed out safe foods. When I had COVID one time, I've had COVID like twice. One of them, I lost my sense of taste and smell. And I made a list of safe foods that really helped me when I was like, I know I need to eat food. I know that I have to consume nutrients. It all tastes like garbage. I don't want to eat it. I made a list of safer, nothing was safe, but I made a list of safer foods that I could consume. And I carried that over into my normal life. So that way I had kind of a list of go-tos of what salad dressing I really liked for a little bit, what food from Trader Joe's that was frozen that I really liked for a little bit. I would make a list so I could go back and be like, can I revisit any of these and bring them back in to replace the eggs that are now too eggy? If that isn't really working either, what I have told clients and myself is I go caveman mode. Caveman needs protein, caveman needs carbs, caveman needs fat. Put it together, and it doesn't matter what the meal looks like. It doesn't need to look like a meal that you would put on Instagram.
So one of the things that I tell clients is to set alarms, right?
Mhm.
You find that helpful?
Absolutely. That is actually one of the things that I first started implementing when I first started noticing that other people, I actually thought people were like faking it when they were like, oh yeah, I'm like starving. I'm so hungry. Like I'm starting to get a little grumpy. I'm like,
Because you just didn't
okay,
get
like
it.
that's a
You're like,
figure of
what are you?
speech, right? Like
Interesting.
you're just okay, haha, yeah, got it. We'll get you some food. And I thought it was a joke. So
Wow.
I started when I was realizing that nope, that's a me problem, buddy. I started setting alarms at regular intervals to check in with myself. And I give myself dismissing the first alarm. First alarm is to check in. Second
Mm.
alarm is no, you need to eat now because it has been X amount of hours. You've done X amount of activity. You absolutely need food right now. And you are probably you missed a hunger cue at some point. You don't recognize your hunger right now, but logically you're hungry. So I am applying logic to this situation and saying I should go eat. So I always set two, one, two, hey, check in. How do I feel? What am I doing? Am I hungry? Am I good? Second one, all right, get up. Time to go.
I
Time to
like
eat.
that. I like that because it's very easy to ignore one alarm,
It's so easy.
and you got to know yourself. Maybe you got to set three, you,
My phone is all reminders and all alarms.
you got to know yourself. So yeah, find out, okay, what time am I normally up? What time should I eat breakfast around that time?
Mhm.
Do a little body scan, figure out, okay, am I hungry at that point? If not, okay, I got another one for 15 minutes later. Maybe that's about that time. And then lunch, I try and tell clients not to go at least more than like 5 hours. More than 5 hours, probably too long.
I always say check in at 4 or 5. Just 4 or 5, you probably need food.
Yeah. And we know, even if you're not necessarily hungry, chances are you need some sustenance. Let's try and get
Probably.
something in there,
It's
even if it's small.
and if you set multiple alarms, you get the dopamine of ignoring the first one because
We
the
love
first one
that.
goes off and you're like, no, I'm not doing that. And it feels good.
Our inner rebel, we're like, nah, I'll do what I want.
I won't. I won't go eat. And then the second one, you're like, fine, God,
Yeah.
don't yell
And
at me.
and then hopefully you feel a sense of accomplishment after you do that one.
Yes.
What are some challenges to like meal prepping, ingredient prepping?
There's so many. One, you don't know if the chicken is going to be too chickeny in a few days. A lot of people have issues with like leftovers, and the consistency of leftovers are
Mm.
really hard. I'm very fortunate that I can eat leftovers because I have had some things where I'm like, this doesn't hold well. And I'm like, oh, that can be applied to so many things though. So that's one of the issues. The other issue is the amount of steps involved, the amount of thinking, the amount of involvement, and you have to pick what you're eating. You have to scan through the kitchen to see what you have. So that way you don't buy too much, because then you'll end up with 19 onions in your fridge and not know what to do with them. You need to do a grocery order, go to the grocery store, get what you actually need, which is a whole journey in of itself. Come home, prep and cook the food and get it all divvied up and get it all together. Everything is its own individual little step, and that is very overwhelming to even start. It's the starting. Once you're going.
For anybody.
For everybody.
It's like, oh my God, this is
so
gonna take
hard.
forever. Yeah. So keep your shoes on and get that meal prep knocked out.
Let's go. You gotta start down that path. And what I started doing for myself to help combat boredom with meals, to help combat the literal weight of meal prep. And I give this advice to all of my clients. Neurotypical, neurodivergent, doesn't matter. It really helps. I started doing what I call prepping the staples. And to do that, I pick my protein for the week, typically chicken, just because I don't like cooking anything else. Cooking brings me no joy. But I'll cook a bunch of chicken for the week. And then the same day or the next day, depending on the week, I'll make some rice. And then I will buy frozen veggies. Don't buy fresh. You know better. It's going bad in that fridge. Don't even kid yourself. Buy frozen. They are fine. You can microwave them and they taste better than the fresh ones that are kind of wilty. And I have those. I can turn that into burritos. I can turn that into soup. I can make a little stir fry out of it. I can make tacos out of it. I can turn it into so many different meals that have variety throughout the week so I don't get bored. And I'm fulfilling and satisfying cravings while also not being like, oh, I don't want any, I just want to eat. Oh, I don't want to, I guess we'll just go out. It's fine. I don't want to deal with it. No, I can make whatever I want. I want soup. Great. I have all the things to make soup because I have rice, chicken, and veggies and broth.
Well, that is a really big thing. Sometimes we go too long without eating, especially if you have ADHD. And then by the time you do want to eat, you're starving, right? I finally recognize that I need to eat and I'm really, really hungry. I don't want to take the time to cook something.
I am now desperate.
I'm desperate. I'm going to order out, hit DoorDash,
$50 for one thing that's going to be cold by the time it gets here.
Exactly. Or I'll grab, whatever is in the box or a bag and just
I'll probably have too much of it because I wasn't thinking while I was doing it. I was desperate. So I'm now having the whole bag of Doritos instead of some Doritos with my meal.
Right. How do you feel about backups? Safe meals?
Safe meals. You could freeze everything and anything. I've made meals that I really liked. Frozen rice freezes, chicken freezes. And then I like having alternates and backup plans for grabby go things if I need to just have anything.
It's again that idea of removing friction, what we have something there available. If you choose not to do it, well, that's okay. But you have something there in case you do. Okay.
It's a backup plan. It gets you fed. End goal is fed, whatever that looks like.
Right. Okay. And then, hey, listen, if you are imperfect, if you forget to meal prep or something, if you do order DoorDash, it's really okay.
It's totally fine. Not that deep.
Yep. And we put it back behind us and we move forward.
We don't turn that one weird thing that happened into 46 weird days in a row. It was one. It's okay. It's okay to leave it at one and make a plan to meal prep when you need to.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about motivation. This could apply to food or exercise, but especially exercise, I think. It's hard to build a habit, and ADHD people don't develop habits the same way that neurotypical people do. So how do you deal with that?
Honestly, learning that I had ADHD made so much more sense as to like how I actually gained consistency in the gym. Now I just have an answer for it. And with nutrition and everything, I always felt like I was broken. I heard, it takes 14 days to form a habit. Okay, well then I would be able to brush my teeth every day with no problem if it took 14 days. I've had teeth for 30 something years now. So
and that's something you still struggle with is like
every day. It's a choice to brush my teeth. I have to choose to go into the bathroom and brush my teeth. I have a toothbrush in every bathroom in my house so I can brush my teeth. Oh. I've created an environment where if I think about it, I can do it then. And so we don't really experience motivation in the same way that neurotypical people do. Neurotypical people are motivated to go do their workout. We get motivated after we do the workout. So we have to then have this discipline, this just, hey, I'm going to do it. Even if I don't want to, I'm going to do it because I know I'm going to feel better after. And so with motivation, it's so fleeting. Motivation comes and goes. It's not consistent. It's not a consistent hit of dopamine. And so with, say motivation to do the workout, it's, I feel better after. I know I feel better after. And so what I've told myself, what I have told my clients is do it with an attitude. Be mad at me if you want. Be angry. Do the workout. You know you'll feel better after, and you know that for a fact. Go do it. Go do your warm up. I'll give you a deal. If you do your warm up and you still don't want to be there, leave. You've at least showed up to the building. You've at least said, I'm going to go to the gym today, and went. You followed through with the action that you said that you were going to do, or start your workout. I'm going to do my workout today. This feels icky. I am so miserable right now. It's going to ruin working out for the rest of my life. Stop. You get to stop, but you don't get to stop if you don't start.
Yeah. So you've mentioned dopamine a few times. How does dopamine and how do ADHD brains connect? Is that something that you guys are seeking always?
We are. I'm sure there's a psychological legitimate reason why. I have no idea, but I spend most of my day chasing little itty bits of dopamine because it's what keeps me going. It makes me feel connected with my environment. It makes me feel like I am experiencing life in a calm way because our brains, a million miles an hour at all points in time. There's an internal monologue and she's never not there. The dopamine hits make that internal monologue that is forever running stop for 2 seconds. Feels good, brings us joy and peace. And so we're kind of constantly chasing that. And so I've tied a lot of, hey, this brings dopamine to a lot of things in my life of my workouts and my nutrition. I look for those little things that actually feel good.
Yeah. When it comes to like motivation, let's talk a little bit about the spoon theory. Tell us a little bit about how that relates to ADHD brains.
I love the spoon theory. I didn't hear about it until sometime during COVID, during lockdown. It's you only have so many spoons in a day. And sometimes brushing my teeth, it's only one spoon. I have a very easy time doing it. Don't know why. Don't know why it's different from yesterday, but it costs me one spoon to brush my teeth. Tomorrow it costs me 3. Why? Don't know. The environment hasn't changed. I got just the same amount of sleep. I have the same amount of energy. I have the same amount of motivation to brush my teeth of no cavity, don't want cavity. It's all the same environment, but today it costs 3. It is significantly more effort today than it was yesterday, and that's okay. It still needs to be done, but maybe I have to take from something else to give to this other thing. Maybe I don't fold my laundry today because today cost me 3 spoons to do my teeth. So maybe I don't fold my laundry. You know what? It could sit in the basket another day. I'll run it through the dryer one more time. It'll get rid of the wrinkles. It'll be fine. Who cares? But I need to do it on a day where it costs less because I only have so much to give. And for some reason, it's a lot.
It's sort of budgeting your energy.
Mm-hmm. And every task costs something. Every task is done at the cost of something else. And that's okay. You get to pick and choose where that gets spent. And sometimes it's brushing your teeth and filling up your water bottle. And that's what you have for today. Everything gets put to tomorrow. It gets scooched forward to tomorrow when you have a little bit more.
And so what happens if you overextend yourself? What happens if you run out of spoons? Typically
for me, that means sitting on the couch and playing Fortnite the whole next day and doing absolutely not a thing because I have fried myself.
Just shut
down.
And
I shut down. I have all these big plans for the next day, but because I spent 5 too many spoons today, I unfortunately am going to be on the couch for the remainder of the week.
And it's going to take some time. It takes some time to sort of replenish those.
You got to rebuild the spoons. And so it's unfortunately a fine balance between overextending and overutilizing what spoons you have versus not. And sometimes that's what's required of life because work happens, life happens. We have days like that. And then we have the aftermath of days like that. And that's okay. In the past, we get to go forward now.
Okay. So let's say one of your clients burnt themselves out. That I ran out of spoons, I overextended myself, I tried to do all the workouts you had me do, and I did them, or I did one on a day I shouldn't have, and I don't want to do anything now. What do you tell them?
I talk to my clients a lot about modifying their expectations of themselves to meet themselves where they are right now. Because I I I have a perfect example of myself. I used to work out 4 days a week consistently every week for a very long time. And then I started taking some coursework and I ended up missing a fourth workout. And then because I was going to miss one, I missed two, and then I missed three, and then I would miss 3 weeks in a row because well, I missed so many. I can't, it won't be a perfect week. It won't be a perfect week. And because I kept falling into that perpetual cycle of wanting to get 4 workouts, but there's a point of no return in the week, I would do zero. And so I sat down and I was like, okay, so clearly 4 workouts isn't working. Let's change the expectations that we have for ourselves right now to meet us where we are. And we can reevaluate and increase to 4 workouts when the time is right. And so I talk a lot with clients about, okay, yeah, you've overextended yourself. Absolutely. Let's change the expectations. Can we do maybe a 10-minute walk once this week? And then you are still keep upholding a promise to yourself of dedicating time and effort to yourself and your goals without continuing to overextend yourself and overdo yourself to the point where you just quit entirely because it's too much. Alter it, change it. You're in charge. You get to alter everything. This health and fitness stuff, it's for life. It's not for now. In life, you're going to have weird days and weird weeks. Let's actually know how to deal with them, and let's be able to adjust and know when to adjust down and adjust back up.
So just like a personal trainer might scale back an exercise, hey, this is too difficult for you. We have to sort of scale things back for our clients in that way too, or you have to go for yourself. It's okay. 4 workouts this week, not going to happen. So instead, I'm going to go, I'll do a walk, a 5, 10, 15-minute walk. I can do that.
I can go outside. I can go for a walk. I can get on my walking pad. I don't want to. I can do it grumpy. Be as grumpy as you want.
I like that. So I think it's really good to follow through those promises. Sometimes it helps. One of the other tips that we gave in that video was to schedule appointments with yourself, right? Treat it like a doctor's appointment. So talk about that a little bit.
So what I started doing is I started putting my workouts into my calendar like a scheduled doctor's appointment, because I don't have a problem actually getting to appointments. I don't miss meetings with my clients due to poor time management. I don't blow off clients. I don't blow off a doctor's appointment. I'm able to get to those meetings and those interactions with absolutely no problem. And I schedule everything else in my life. I schedule my hair wash days. I schedule when to clean my sheets. I schedule doctor's appointments. I schedule when to grocery shop. Why do I think in my actual right mind that I can do health and fitness without scheduling it? Why is this the one thing in my life? This is the one thing that'll work out perfect without a schedule. Because why? And so I realized that if I scheduled them, one, I could get an overview of my week. I could see what the week looks like, see if I need to change expectations beginning of the week without being angry with myself. And two, I am then making an appointment with my workout. And I know you can tell yourself, well, I don't have to though. Don't let yourself do that. Make the appointment, do the appointment. If you need to, and you need that like little dopamine hit of being like, I don't want to make your appointment. Hey, I'm going to do my workout at 10 a.m. And if I don't do it at 10 a.m., I'm doing it at 2 p.m. I don't get an option at 2 p.m. I get an option at 10 a.m. I don't care if I want to even less at 2 p.m. So I can either know where I'm at now and have mystery later, but either way, my workout's getting done. My meal prep's getting done. My grocery shopping's getting done, whatever it might be. You got to blow it off once. You don't get to do it twice.
A backup appointment. Yeah. Oh, I like that. That's smart. So
it's so helpful.
What sort of things do you do to set up your environment for success? You kind of mentioned having a toothbrush in every room. When it comes to exercise or nutrition, what sorts of things do you do to set yourself up for success?
So I've done our entire house is an ADHD mecca at this point. Me and my partner both got diagnosed with ADHD in the same year. And I was like, we're setting up our house different.
We're never getting anything done.
You're never accomplishing anything. And so one thing is I always have like my meals. My meals are always in the fridge where I can see them. Nothing is put away. My fridge is a disaster. It looks really stressful, but I can see exactly what I have for food without having to like do really pretty TikTok videos of fridge organization and like going into all of these I'm not doing that. The food will die. I can't do that. So everything's visible. Our pantry, visible. Everything, the food options are very set in front of us. So I don't open it and stare and be like, I don't know, this is just a blob that is a fridge shape at this point. So
It's not
put
layered
things,
behind things. Things aren't hidden.
nothing's hidden because it'll rot. And so I do that for my nutrition. My gym bag lives in the back of my car. I don't take it out because then you know what I can't forget? My gym bag. I have a headphone charger in the car because then I can't forget my headphones and say, "Ooh, I forgot my headphones. I'm not going to work out." I have a pair of walking shoes that lives up by my walking pad in my office that I use for my walking pad because going downstairs to go get my shoes because I wore them outside last, I'm probably not going to go get them. I'm probably just not going to walk. I'm actually just going to sit down. And I have the other pair downstairs for when I want to do outside walks. I have all of my clothing for workouts in the front of my closet. So I don't have to go digging. Everything is right there. I know that I want to wear this shirt and these shorts because I wore them last week on squat day. I don't have to think about it. Remove brain.
Yeah. So yes, don't make yourself think more than you already do.
It's already happening. So make it easy, make everything out. Our house to other people, I'm sure, looks just like chaos and mess. To us, it is what actually allows us to function in this world like two grown adult humans.
So it helps to sort of build systems that work with your brain rather than against it.
It's your brain is going to function differently. You are neurodivergent. You are not neurotypical. And setting your life up to match and meet the expectations of neurotypical behavior, that's probably going to fail every time.
Yeah, I think it's smart to think about it as a disability. You know, you have somebody who's in a wheelchair who needs special accommodations in their home. You have somebody who's deaf who needs special accommodations in their home. If you have ADHD, you're going to need special accommodations in your home. And maybe that's just the way that your fridge is set up. Maybe that's the way your pantry is set up, your bedroom is set up.
It doesn't mean you're incapable of functioning. It means you function different, and that's okay.
It is okay.
And the sooner you accept that, the easier your life is.
Yeah. Yeah. When it came to habit building, I talked about rewards and how our brains really love rewards. How do ADHD brains deal with rewards? Do you like them? Do they not matter? Little stars, on a calendar. Does that do anything for you?
For some people, it absolutely does. For others, it doesn't. It really depends on the brain. It's also important to know that neurodivergent brains are also neurodivergent to each other.
Yeah, that's very wise. One thing might work for somebody and not somebody else, even though they might both have ADHD.
We might have the same named disorder, but we don't have the same displayed characteristics. I know that a lot of clients of mine have gamified getting workouts in, and once they hit X number, they get this off of their Amazon wish list or whatever it might be. And that I've seen that work with amazing success. They get this little price that they've been kind of thinking about, kind of toying around. Well, now it's a game. Now you get a little treat after you do 10, 20, whatever the number might be, workouts. And it helps a lot. I also like to hold kind of what I want to do over my own head. So I like Fortnite. I'm going to play Fortnite. I must do my workout before I play Fortnite. Or else, one, I'm sitting down. I'm going to remain down. But hey, do your workout, then you get to play your game. If you don't do your workout, you could stay here all you want. You will not log on to that PlayStation. So make your choices. If you want to play your game, you best go do your workout. And so
gentle parenting yourself.
Really, I tell my clients that all the time. I'm like, I have to gentle parent myself daily.
Like, you can do this, but you have to do your adult stuff first.
You have to unfortunately accomplish what you want to, because I know at the end of the day, doing my workouts, doing my nutrition, doing what I actually know that is really probably ultimately good for me, it's going to help me feel better in the long run than an 8-hour gaming session will.
I'm curious how or what the impact that ADHD has on how you feel in your body. And I'm sure it's different for everybody. But when it comes to like self-worth and body image and, self-identity, what are the feelings that go into that?
It's I it's really complex, and it's something that I didn't realize was associated until more recently in my ADHD journey, my very short ADHD journey. And I there's one part of ADHD where you're overstimulated. Your shirt's bothering you, your shorts are bothering you. So then you feel very uncomfortable because there's a scratchy tag and the waistband of your shorts is sitting in the weird spot of your hip, and you're kind of really hyper aware of your body right now because it is uncomfortable. So now you're aware of it. And because you're so aware of it, it can kind of start making you be like, well, my shorts wouldn't be sitting funny if my hips weren't so wide. And it's
Mm.
like, well, no, your body is overstimulated. It's 100 degrees outside. You're probably just uncomfortable right now. It has nothing to do with your hips. It's your entire body is uncomfortable right now. The tag bothering you. It has nothing to do with the broadness of your shoulders. It has everything to do with the tag being itchy. And so you start trying to blame your body for things that really aren't your body's fault. I mean, your brain is overstimulated by the tag on your shirt and the heat in the air and the shorts on your waistband. And that's overstimulating, that's overwhelming. And so you start attacking the nearest thing you can get. And I didn't realize those were kind of associated, but I started realizing that I needed to stop carrying a purse for a while because during the summer it's too much, too hot, too many things on my body. And it's 100 degrees. I'm hot. And so I would start beating myself up. I'd start feeling so uncomfortable in my body that I think that my body's the problem. Nope. It's change the shirt, change the environment, turn the air conditioner on. You'll be all better once you fix all of that. And so that's associated. And it's r- realizing that the kind of unleashes a whole bunch of other realizations of how you kind of speak negatively to yourself, especially if you're experiencing discomfort, because the
Yeah.
only way to look is inward, and it is kind of inward, but it's the brain inward, not your hips.
Yeah, yeah. Really insightful. A lot of people may not think about that. I mean, we just as humans sometimes are so hard on ourselves. Basically, I mean, diet culture is just relentless when it comes to, you should be so worried about your body. And then the fact that now you're hyper aware of your body because of your overstimulation has to make it feel absolutely miserable.
Yeah, it's like nails on a chalkboard, just over and
So how do you
over
know the
and
difference?
over.
How do you know the difference?
I use logic. I very much talk to myself logically because I I'm a very logical person. Half of my brain is not. The other half is very logical. And so I'd say, okay, well, my hips weren't a problem yesterday. Why are they a problem today? I don't think they changed that much overnight, did they? How could they change overnight that much? I know for a fact they didn't. And I, I again continue to kind of gentle parent myself into being like, okay, let's kind of go down the emotions we're feeling. All right, so we've determined that my hips haven't grown 500 inches in the last 24 hours. Great. So what would be making my shorts bother me then? Ooh, okay. You know what? This is my size medium, not my size large. Ooh, my bad. I put the wrong ones on. I need to actually just get rid of these. I wear a size large, not a size medium. Why do I even own these? It's 100 degrees. I'm hot. Got it. Noted. I'll just go inside and cool off. I Once I can establish that the very big thing that I think is happening of my body's a problem, once I talk myself down from that, it's like, okay, now let's fix the problem because clearly there's something wrong. You don't just feel this way, something's impacting you. And you can go get rid of all the size medium shorts because you're not a medium. You
Yeah.
can go get rid of the itchy tags because they're annoying. You can stay in the air conditioner during the summer. I talk to myself logically to stop the spiral and stop the bashing because our bodies don't change that much overnight. You would have felt uncomfortable yesterday and today and the next day and 5 days before, and you wouldn't feel different right now than you did an hour ago.
I asked my community on Instagram some question, or I asked them to ask me questions, us questions. And so I wanted to do a bit of a quick fire. Let's pretend they're your clients, okay? And we're just gonna, to close, answer some of these questions in maybe a succinct way. They don't need to be long, extended answers, but I'm going to pick a few and you can kind of just respond off the cuff. Does that sound okay?
Perfect.
First one, how do I get back into exercise after stopping?
I would change your expectations. Don't set yourself out to do all 3 of your workouts this week. Set yourself out to go on 3 10-minute walks. And then next week, 3 20-minute walks. And then the next week, 1 workout, 2 walks. 2 workouts, 1 walk. Set your expectations and trickle your way back into it. So that way you're not trying to go hard all at once, do it all right now, because that's probably not going to be sustainable, which is why the first time you kind of fell off.
How do I not eat my way through stress?
I like to displace myself. I like to take a breath when I'm feeling stressed, remove myself from the area that I am in, wherever that might be. Go outside. If you're outside, go inside. Go somewhere else, remove yourself from the situation, and just take a moment to say, okay, am I using food as a crutch rather than dealing with what is currently stressing me out? Do I need to just deal with that? Am I actually hungry? Do I need a meal? Did I skip eating? Maybe. Okay, let me put together a meal instead of just continuously grabbing out of whatever bag I found first. Step away, assess the actual situation and the needs of your body, and meet whatever those needs might be, and then carry forward.
I can't stay motivated for more than 3 days. What do I do?
As we've said, motivation comes and goes. It is fleeting. Making those appointments with yourself, making those deals with yourself, giving yourself the wiggle room, the scooch room, but still getting it done. Keep that promise to yourself because you know it feels better. It'll help with that falling off of motivation. And then do a little thing every day. Do a little thing that is related to health and fitness. Don't work out every day. I'll come for you. Do a little thing related to health and fitness every day. Do a 2-minute walk. It'll keep it fresh in your brain.
What can I eat when literally nothing sounds good?
Caveman style. You need protein, pick any protein. It doesn't matter what protein shake, eggs, pick something. You can smother it in sauce if you need to. Use it as a vessel for the sauce. Find a carb, find a fat. Put a caveman meal together. You need food. You'll probably actually feel better after eating. You're probably starving.
I feel like this is like related to like dinosaur time. Have you seen this on TikTok where it takes a handful of lettuce?
Literally. I honestly, I used to do that as a kid. I would just take spinach, and I loved spinach as a kid. I was a weird kid, weird adult.
You're still weird, yeah. but so not overthinking it. Just eating those things, regardless of how they're dressed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They don't have to go together.
Yeah. How do I remember to eat before I crash?
Alarms, give yourself 2, give yourself 3 alarms. That's totally fine. Give yourself the chance to ignore them. Set alarms because you know logically you probably need food after 4 or 5 hours, even if your brain says you don't. Your body needs food. Your brain is not in charge of the eating schedule. Your body is. Your brain is trying to take over because it's louder than your body. Don't let it win. It doesn't know. The body actually knows what it needs.
How do I stay consistent when every week looks different?
I talk with my clients a lot about every week looking different. It is actually insane that we expect every week to look the same. Adjust your expectations. If one week is super busy and you need to swap out one of your scheduled workouts for a walk, that's totally fine. If you need to get more frozen stuff from the store to eat, go do that. Look at your weeks ahead of time so that way you actually can anticipate what's coming as opposed to the week just like happening to you and then you're just a victim of your week. Look ahead, see what's coming up, adjust your expectations. That'll allow you to plan ahead and not feel like you failed.
Well, fantastic. I think we covered most subjects that I had written down. Emilee, this was wonderful having you here. I want to kind of just take a minute and remind the audience, everyone who's watching and listening, that it is possible to take care of yourself and focus on health and fitness with ADHD. It is possible. It just looks different than it does for neurotypical people. That's not a bad thing. You're not lazy. You're not failing. Your brain just needs different tools. There's something I talked with I do group coaching every week for my clients. And one of the things that we talked about last week, I think, was having the memory of a goldfish. There's a line in Ted Lasso where he says, what's the happiest animal? It's a goldfish. It's because they have a 5-second memory. I don't know if that's biologically true, but I will say, if you make a mistake or if you miss a workout, if you forget to eat or something, don't dwell on it. Have a memory of a goldfish. Put it behind you. and focus on what's going to happen.
The future is the only thing that matters. Yesterday has already happened. Don't let yesterday impact today, and don't let yesterday impact the next week. It's not worth it. It's one weird day.
So what I'd like you all to do, if you're listening here, is go into the comments on Spotify or YouTube videos and share your experiences with ADHD or questions with us. Tell us maybe what you found most helpful about this podcast episode. And if you'd like to work with Emilee or myself, we both do one-on-one coaching. You can apply there. The link to work with us is in the show notes. And we are both taking on new clients right now, and we love working with people. Whether you are neurodivergent or neurotypical, we work with everybody. And so, Emilee, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to be on this podcast episode. It was really just lovely. You were a wonderful coach, and I loved having you and talking with you here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm happy I got to share my experiences and show the proofs in the pudding of you can do health and fitness and also have a neurodivergent brain.
Awesome. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Showing Up Anyway. You can find it for free on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. And wherever you're listening, if you like the show, I'd love it if you gave me a 5-star review, because that does help other people find the show, and hopefully it'll help change their life just like you're looking to change yours. If you're listening on Spotify, though, you can follow me and tap the bell icon so you get notifications when new episodes come out. I'm Coach Adam. Remember, when things get challenging, keep showing up anyway.